Well, how's it going, Kingsmen? Welcome back to another NTW3 battle, and look at this, starting off strong here with a forward crossing, stopping Messina. You have the French pushing on some Spanish guerrillas. They've deployed some stakes, got some skirmishers and cavalry, but probably not going to last much longer here as they're going to get charged in pretty soon here. Still contesting this river crossing. We are back, as I said, with more of the tournament clan battle. This one between the Rheinbund and GR clans. This will be on Fuentes de Anaro. And it's going to have a bit of a twist in this one, guys, because I couldn't believe when I saw the results of this battle. One of the players crashes. Now, that's a spoiler, but what is the spoiler I'm not going to unveil is how insane this battle gets even after the crash. Like, what a way to take the reins when your teammate crashes and you continue to play on, which is going to make for an exciting fight. Now, this one was a bitter fight for sure, especially considering that one of the sides has one less player at a certain point in the... I'm sure we're going to notice it. I'm sure we're going to see it when they do crash, because, you know, the models start running and all that. But I'm curious how they're going to utilize that, if it maybe helps them capitalize and they get a nice attack going, whoever it was, whatever side it was. But so far, we see here the French having a bit of a field day here with some skirmishers, more Spanish light infantry just going to get run down by some chasseurs cheval. Yeah, I think they're trying to do a little bit of deployment here to try to break up any French advances. They don't really have this town yet. They're rushing towards it, I'm sure, with everything. But let's go over the points here. Like I said, these clans are taking the 1811, I believe, core for the French and the Spanish and British.
Fallen to the enemy. So
on the Rheinbund side, which is playing the French, we're going to have a Messina 10-pointer, Soult 9-pointer, 6-point Dorsena, and a 9-point Suchet. On the GR coalition side, you have a Mendizable 5-pointer, Spanish 5-pointer, I'm just gonna say Wellington 11-pointer, Beresford 8, and Blake 10. So I believe the 5-pointer is this guerrilla Spain that's deployed out in front, trying to slow down the French advance. Actually, there's two. Yeah, there's two. So there's one British, one Portuguese, and two Spanish armies here. And yeah, Wellington definitely a hard hitter. He, I think, is right in the center here. Usually the coalition managed to get to this center 2-pointer, this town, before the French do, and then of course the French deploy all their guns up on the hill. It turns into an insane fight. I've had so many good fights on Fuentes, so I'm excited to see another juicy fight here. We'll see if it still rages around the town or if things will be a little bit different in today's fight. That, you know, we'll see. You can see the French, they have their 6-pointer and 9-pointer here consolidating on the town, as well as the two 9-pointers and a 6-pointer. Of course, you have on the flank another 10-pointer. He is pushing far right. He may actually be trying to go for a bit more of a flanking advance here, swinging on the other side of the river. Now, once you've committed to one side or the other of the river, that kind of changes things. However, usually they'll push this road, then swing down on the flank, keeping the nice even ground, because both sides, you can see, have a hill advantage on each side. So whoever advances, you know, gets the hill advantage over the other. And right now they're both on one hill, but this 10-point Messina could obsolete the hill advantage if they push directly down the flank. Now, it's usually a pretty textbook advance here, taking this left flank. The wild card, I feel like, usually is this right side. Usually there can be a huge raging fight for this LOC here on the right, and the forest, if you call that a forest, on this right hand side, usually a fight across the river. Of course, we have a Spanish army advancing from this right side. I do see British forces in the town, so France did not get there soon enough. So it's going to be, we'll see. You have consolidation, 18 points total so far, advancing directly on Fuentes, and then of course the 6-pointer advancing to maybe support Messina. However, this Suchet is going to have to watch out for the Spanish advance on their right. Make for an interesting fight, and there's more artillery now from Spain I see pushing up here. Like I said, you have some infantry in the town. I do believe I'm not sure, but I do believe there is Spanish Guard being brought. I think that's Blake. It's been a while since I've seen these cores, quite honestly, and I do not remember playing them. That's been even longer since I played an NW3 match, I'm not gonna lie. Almost too long for a YouTuber who does this almost purely on his channel to have not played, but man, it takes like 2 hours just to play one match, if you're lucky. So I just don't have the time. Looks like we're getting a bit of a skirmish here. Horse artillery trying to duel with the guns from France, and boy, do they have more guns. 5 guns setting up here. Looks like we have some guard units, or maybe not guard units, but maybe some guard. The young guard, I believe that's Yena. I don't know if that's how you say that, but I believe that means young guard. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Won't be the first time, won't be the last I'm wrong about something when it comes to this time period. For as much as I'm a nerd out on it, I have a lot that I do not know still. Still learning. But anyway, yeah, 6 point. He's got the nice infantry. This is a beautiful looking army here. Long overcoats. But yeah, the artillery is setting up. Already a duel starting to happen between skirmishers and artillery over the valley. Betwixt the two hills. And yes, we definitely have the push being started here by Massena. Cavalry out in front. Infantry pushing here. Some light infantry here on the left. More lines going straight down this road. He has a little, I'd say that's like supposed to be an orchard maybe. We do see Wellington pushing up, another general as well. So there's definitely going to be resistance to the French advance from Massena. And of course, France, oh, they got plenty of forces in the town now, taking shelter in the buildings. Makes for a tough fight. Now we do have an advance potentially. Not sure where these guys are going. Is this the crash? This could be the crash. I'm not sure. This could be the potential crash. That's early. Wow. If that is the case, maybe not. It's hard to tell. They're not running. I don't see any running yet, so maybe I was like trying to say, is it the coalition that's gonna crash? I think it was the coalition that was gonna crash, but I'm not totally sure. All right, so Wellington has a lot of Portuguese in his army as well, some French, or not French, some Spanish, a little bit of British infantry as well. A nice mixture, I do believe. Who took Wellington?
Yes, sir.
I don't know who took Wellington. It's, I bet you, oh yeah, probably almost 3,000 men. That probably is Wellington right there, the 11-pointer. But regular volleys getting exchanged here. The French still pushing on the left, but it looks like we're having a bit more of a spat here on the right. Cavalry running down skirmishers from Spain. Cavalry also is broken, but more infantry pushing up. This could be Blake. I think this is Blake, the 10-pointer. Ah, look at these guard. Very nice. And he is advancing, starting to put pressure on the French right in the town center. It's hard to tell. I don't know what this general's doing.
This building has fallen.
Either way,
to the
you
enemy.
can see a well-established front line here. Not as much on the left. Now, maybe Wellington is going to be taking the entirety of the left flank. Also, there is I think another British army. I think there's 2 British armies here, actually, guys. My apologies. I do believe there's 2 British armies. Beresford being the other one that's more of a, what? Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. I see the British line. I'm like, oh, it must be Wellington, but there's probably 2 armies here. Let's see. 2 generals. There's Beresford, I bet you, and there's Wellington. All right, so yeah, 2 on the left here, 1 by the town and 1 facing off against the Massena advance here. Artillery are starting to focus down some of Massena's corps. But they have a church, and you can see they form up lines, even have artillery. I feel like the artillery would do beautifully right here, because nothing can charge it, and they just get nice flanking fire. I'd almost have put the artillery right here. Like, it can shoot. Now they'd have to retreat to the other side, but you can see definitely more of a resisting, more of a defensive line there. Over here, France really starting to focus down. I see some Spanish troops breaking. Artillery in danger here as France is actually making a push across the river. Suchet making that push. Not a lot really to stop him. And wow, France really getting that push going. Artillery though, some nice positions here. These guys have not fired once. Please tell me you guys are gonna fire. That's odd. That's unfortunate too. Here we go. This is probably where the first main attack is going to happen. I like how the French or the coalition have a nice reserve line set up. They have terrain that will help their hold on this position. The fences, the hills. Not all of their infantry is going to be under the French supporting artillery, as a lot of them are going to be hidden further back. France will have to push without artillery support on this far left. Meanwhile, the coalition has some beautiful artillery positions. Oh, are they going to listen to me? Preemptively, are they pushing artillery? Like I said, artillery right here, guys, will be perfect. They will pour in some nice fire here. They want to lose out here. I can't tell if France may be making an advance in the town. Yeah, I think we may be having our first advance here in the town. France pushing forward here. Suchet making a small push, taking out that artillery piece. Skirmish screen set up in front of their infantry, though. And we may have an attack being made. Yep, here we go. The second has charged in for the LOC in the town. This is a very crucial LOC to hold. You cannot afford to take, like, both sides need to have this in order to make their defense or push. More of Wellington's corps advancing here. At the same time, this push here on the left getting way more close. Oh, they should have waited. This is pathfinding. Bad pathfinding. This is not going well. Artillery getting charged by some Mamelukes. I think they're going to hold. France getting in melee here. The first French unit has broken. They still are committing to it. You have Suchet himself trying to support this attack with the morale boost. France getting in melee. Some of these beta charges probably will not do well. You can see they're charging in, but they're getting shot up as they charge. But cavalry in coordination here. Oh, they're going to get a nice charge up on the artillery piece. But a lot of the units are breaking. They need to watch out here. Supporting line fire in the back. But man, Massena is pushing quite hard on this initial line here. Cavalry from the coalition going to be in support here. France going in for melee, actually getting countercharged here. They sent in the Vistula Legion, I believe. Yep. These guys will do an excellent job. A nice melee in the town. Some grenadiers also getting involved, breaking that first line of British troops. Even the 6-pointer starting to push his lines forward here on the hill as they're starting to get a nice initial push. We're gonna have the first line from this. It could be Beresford. It could be Wellington here. I'm leaning towards Beresford. He is a Portuguese general, I believe, and he is trying to push. But man, the French have some nice light infantry here, really dropping the Portuguese lines very quickly here, and they have a first break here. And I do believe they take the town center. Yep, and the Grenadiers are starting to feel this fight, and they're going to charge in here. It's going to turn into more and more hand-to-hand combat in the town. France actually getting pushed back a little bit, but they don't really need to ease. They can ease off the left and focus more on the town itself. They're going to excel in this melee. As this fight is going to get messy extremely quickly here. And you see France, they definitely are pushing quite effectively here. just using their weight and numbers. Oh man, the nice fire here. Now we do have artillery setting up here. This could help, but this is getting a little rough for the coalition here. They've fallen back across the church. France is in the town itself now. And wait, what did they take? Oh, the ruins. They took some ruins now. Oh man, this is looking rough. The British are being pretty stubborn, trying to hang on. At the same time, we have Suchet getting pushed here by the French. And the coalition have lost a section of this town. We'll see if they keep pouring forces into this. But you can see the French line kind of making their first big push. Now they're standing in a line fight over here, though, maybe pushing against Bears. They have a nice wicked angle here from the town, but they got to watch out for this flanking fire from the British. Cavalry on the flank. Oh, look at this. They're pushing pretty hard here, and they have a lot of infantry reserves here. Now, it does appear this artillery is still in the fight and is canistering as best they can. I think they drove back at least, yep, one unit as broke. If these guys get another shot off, they could bring one of these French units to wavering. And the volleys are actually quite effective here. Look at this push here. The reserves from the coalition are not going anywhere. In fact, this counterattack here in the town looks like it's actually pushing back the French. Their reserves are being a little bit depleted. They're still making a hold here, but there we go. Another charge by the Spanish. Gonna break their 5th light infantry unit. This artillery, are they gonna get another canister off? Please, oh. Artillery from the French answering in kind. Over here, this artillery is probably starting to get some wicked shots. But look at this French artillery brought up. Starting to really focus down the British lines as well. But this push on the right-hand side definitely has slowed quite a bit. The real push being along this side and into the town, where France may have made the initial push to take the house, but they have gone nowhere since then. It's been a bloodbath. And it does look like the Spanish Guard are here, and they're going to counterattack into this LOC. Or maybe not. Maybe they're going to pull back with the fresh French troops pushing forward. They may need to rethink that strategy for the time being. And France actually getting pushed back. Got a little close to these artillery pieces. Trying to focus them down with skirmishers. Oh, the canister, though, may break this artillery. And the fight seems to have slowed down, except for over here. Oh my gosh, still. Still both sides refusing to budge. And now we may have the Guard, which I'm assuming will be Blake, trying to get involved here. Bit of a duel. And on this right-hand side, not a whole lot of action. I mean, Suchet's kept their artillery, some cavalry, and infantry just in case the French try to put, or the Spanish try to pushing. So far, nothing. And this whole right flank is kind of really slow from the center. Of course, the town fight rages on. Dude, this, oh my gosh. Turning into a bit of a bloodbath here.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Uh-oh. Oh no, they retook it. They absolutely retook it. And look at this counterattack. Look at this, the breaking happening along this French line, the wavering happening. This unit is going to be attacking the flank. This could be bad. Friends are starting to rout. The coalition capitalizing on the Friends breaking to now counterattack and carry it along the entire French line. Look at the... Oh no, a mass rout in the town. This is a disaster for this French attack. Suchet's corps crumbling under the weight of the fresh Spanish troops that have pushed in. I'm seeing some wavering along the line here. Franco-Massena making a big push here on the right, as this seems to be the only place we can really still have the manpower to make that push. And now it's trickling into Soult's line. Look at this counterattack. This must be Beresford making a counter, trying to push back the French. Oh, let's see if they get a bayonet charge. Yeah, they're pulling back. And sending up maybe some fresh units. I feel like Massena maybe should have gotten into some more melee. I mean, they have a lot of light infantry, so I guess that'd probably be not smart. It'd probably be smarter to stay in, ooh, artillery. This artillery, that's a wicked... Because now, of course, you see France really... looks like they've charged it at least once, and they're trying to drive it back. That is really going to tear up their lines. But I'm seeing some wavering. I mean, the artillery is going to be nasty. And look at this, another charge. The coalition are doing exactly what they should, guys. They are not easing up at all on the French. Now that they have an advantage, they are pushing as hard as they can in the areas where they should to not give France a chance to reform, to get a small break, and to, you know, get fresh troops up. Looks like the Suchet on the left, he's moving the last of his reserves over. Spain may actually start probing on that right flank now. It looks like the artillery... Oh, wow. Artillery got that... Like, got. The Chasseur Cheval. That's crazy. They managed to sneak around. But here we go. I think we're going to see another attack here. But this ring of fire is quite brutal here. What do we got? There's some Portuguese line. But still, France is making their push. They have to at this point. It's not working anywhere else. Because over here, it looks like there's actually a counterattack happening against the French. Of course, France still has some dragoons and other cavalry units left. We'll see if they get a nice charge off here against this coalition, this massive infantry, and I do believe they do. I got some Swiss, some Voltiers. Oh, that's a nasty flanking fire. Oh, that's going to break them so fast. They should have followed up with this infantry, maybe charged it in on the flank. That's what they should have done, is charge Cavan. Infantry should have gone for the bayonet. But here we go. Let's check and see if France managed to actually... Okay, looks like they went for the LOC here. But despite that, or aside from that, they're just making a regular, standard push. And once again, France getting charged. I mean, he's got a lot of numbers against him. They take this one on the right. Excellent. They are securing that right flank. Yeesh. Yeah, it's been definitely a little rough of a fight here, guys. So far, France had such an initial good push going for them. Yeah, but the town, like, this is the real question. Should they have kept pushing in the town? They were winning at first. Maybe Suchet should have pushed at the same time and not let the Spanish counterattack here and put more pressure on another area so they were spread out and they maybe would have won the town that way. But I don't know. I haven't seen it from the coalition perspective of what they had where. Man, they're getting focused down. Well, the counterattack is now happening, as you can see.
Our men are running first.
And I do believe the French outnumbered here. This may be the loss. They're trying to consolidate all forces together. You see marching all the way across here. Trying to do what they can to keep their forces together.
Our men are running first.
Now charged by some Lancers and Dragoons. A counter charge by some heavier cavalry from the British. Nice square form of the flank is shooting right into this British line of cavalry. But France is starting to really take heavy losses. I mean, every time they make a stand, just the pressure from this coalition gets them. Now, we may have a potentially beneficial flank being pushed here by Suchet. Gotta watch out, of course, that the French don't turn on him, as there's not a whole lot really facing the coalition at this point. And the French have made a stand here that seems to actually be holding. They, of course, gotta watch out for this gap in their lines that the coalition is starting to exploit for swinging the flank. They gotta pull this whole line back. They have a lot of artillery. Maybe they can use it to hold. We'll see if these Voltigeurs can stand. Nice, they actually got a nice frontal volley on the Spanish line, but it's probably not going to matter. Now the countering volleys from the supporting French units probably will break that Spanish unit.
Our men are running first.
They're barely holding, but France is holding. Now French cavalry, though, this probably may be the end of that flank. Ooh, canister. That was a well-timed canister. Got a very brutal shot off on this cavalry unit. But it looks like... Ooh. Uh-oh. Dorsena, the 6-pointer, is dead. Don't be surprised if he actually got friendly fired. We're in this area, but... Man. I think it's the beginning of the end, or it already was the beginning of the end, but I think we're getting close to the end here. For this French force, they made an amazing initial push, guys. This initial push here, and then taking the town, both worked beautifully at first, and then it just, I don't know if Massena's attack stalled or if he just got locked in a shootout. And like I said, he had a lot of light infantry. Maybe he should have kept trying to go for melee. You threw some cav in there and charged again. The Portuguese maybe would have been a good target here, but who knows? I wasn't watching the entire battle over here with a lot of scrutiny when I saw nothing was really happening. Just a line fight. Maybe they threw too much into the town and lost it all. We hit the fast forward button here. Looks like the battle's going to start winding down. The remnants for France maybe going to consolidate a little bit, but for the most part, they don't have a lot of their cores left. Let's see here. Yeah, probably the end, I'd say, of this battle. An excellent push by the French, I'd say, in the very beginning. It just, maybe it was they ran out of numbers. I think they got hit hard by some quality at a certain point, which caused the fighting in Fuentes. It was at a it was questionable until some of that Spanish, like I said, I know the Spanish Guard units here, and I believe they're the ones that kind of had the final push that did so much to the French corps here, and that kind of went downhill because once they were dealt with, Spanish swung around and started going to the flank of Massena and the 6-point Dorsena, who were pushing here. They swung around the flank, and then France was just falling back the entire rest of the time. They didn't have the numbers at that point. They committed to a pretty hard, fierce fight here. I mean, they definitely dished out a lot of damage to the coalition, but there was just such a concentration of coalition forces here that I don't think there's anything at all that they could have done to stop it. Look at this. Wellington's even strolling around the battlefield already. He's like, we've won this.
Your general has been killed.
Uh-oh.
This is a black day.
Massena is dead now. Wellington was going to go duel him. You know, he's strolling like he has swag. Like, you know, he's just strolling like he's already won this. Yeah, it's fine, you know. Oh, man, it just crashed. Well, I'm not going to fast forward all the way to the end. It was definitely decided. So let's just pull the results here of this battle. So you can see here a victory. Sorry for the bad quality on this screenshot. A victory for the coalition, for the GR. I'm assuming Ronaldo crashed because he made 172 kills. But I missed it. Honestly, I missed it. But they lost him. Obviously, he didn't inflict anything on the enemy, so it was just a 3 players. But yeah, Matt Bob here, who is a substitute. He was the Blake 10-pointer, 1959 for the kills. Mate. You have B Square. He was Beresford 8-pointer with 962. You have Ronaldo. Was he the 5-pointer, I'd assume? With 172 kills. And then you have D. Jokdal. He was Wellington 11 with 1688. On the other side, you have Kaj as Massena 10-pointer with 1230. You have Andre. He was Solt 9-pointer with 1014. Bizarre as 6-pointer. Dorsena with 881, and then Red Viper as Suchet 9-pointer with 961. So, I mean, I'd say some decent kills. Obviously, the coalition definitely took the field, and they had an excellent counterattack that just carried all the way through. I'd say it was a counterattack that really hit the French when they were pushing guys. They were so close, I think, for a little bit there. But the coalition managed to turn around, and it was a GR victory. Well played. So, anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.